आजमा लक आजमा आजमा वक्त आजमा अपनी किस्मत की बाजी आजमा. I listen to it like all the time. It's like my hype song.
It's a big
like,
tune.
Buddy, your D-shaped like cola. I'm like, yeah. I always go into my kitchen. No one ever puts anything on the fridge. I'll put them there.
Yeah, it's quite a good point, you know, because you're always going to your fridge.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a respectable place.
Yeah.
It's where my food is.
And then it's the next question.
And the next question is when are you having kids, which is like the worst
then there's
question.
no question after that.
Yeah, because then it's like...
No, then it's just when are you dying?
When are you gonna
Yeah. And it's unhealthy across the board for all genders.
Agreed.
So an intimacy coordinator on set is important for men and women.
Yeah.
Because we actually don't know all of the men's experiences either.
Chai.
God, you're like a chai ninja.
Welcome to Aik Cup Chai. This is a podcast presented to you by Independent Urdu. Independent Urdu is a media organisation where you can find out a lot of information about British Pakistanis via their social channels on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe to find out more about that. Aik Cup Chai is a podcast where we are going to be talking to creatives all across the world, and those especially within the South Asian diaspora, and to break down conversations surrounding cultural identity. My name is Shaikh. This is my co-host Ali, and today joining us on the show is someone who is doing amazing things, worldwide superstar, I would say, Shruti Haasan, Indian actress. Thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us on today's show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, because I've known about your work, but the first time we actually met was at Mira Sayal's BAFTA
at
fellowship.
A party.
Yeah, at a
oh
party.
My God.
But it wasn't any party.
It wasn't just any party.
It was
no.
quite a special party, right?
Yeah.
Because here
a lot of brown folk.
Yeah, a lot of brown Illuminati in the room. Like,
don't say
but everyone was just there who was brown, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But working in the creative industry.
Yeah,
right?
from the Southeast Asian diaspora.
Yeah.
In a really unique way.
Yeah, and Mira Sayal obviously BAFTA Fellowship Award.
So amazing.
Which she won, and we were just celebrating her there.
Yeah.
And we connected.
Yeah.
And it was great to like meet and have that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
To start just things off, like how do you find London, like so far since you've been here?
London's always been like really special to me. So during the pandemic, I couldn't come much because of, nobody could go anywhere really. But before the pandemic, I was doing music here, and London was a great part of my healing journey and rediscovery. So I kind of call it my mother city.
Okay.
Because it's been really nurturing to me.
Amazing.
And I love the grey skies.
The grey skies, yeah.
I love it. I'm not liking the sun right now.
We had a conversation outside in the smoking area, as you do at parties, right? Mm-hmm. And something that I remembered when I left is that you were telling me about UK rappers.
Yeah, I do love grime.
Yeah.
Give us some names.
Bro, she knows so many.
Give us some names.
Okay, so my favorite song right now and forever, and it may not be the best and coolest song, is Body by Russ Millions. I listen to it like all the time. It's like my hype song.
It's a big
like,
tune.
Buddy, you're D-shaped like cola. I'm like, yeah. So, just Wretch 3-2, amazing. Stormzy, Avellino, all of them. Just like, so it was so different for me because I grew up like listening to like American hip hop, which is amazing. And Like I like Kendrick Lamar, Joyner Lucas, like I loved all of them. But a friend of mine actually around 2018, 19 introduced me to like UK grime and stuff, and I was like, shit, these guys are serious. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The stories, it's like...
Because when you was talking to me about it, I don't know whether it was my ignorance as such, but sometimes we're so in like this London bubble that we sometimes forget.
Dave, my favorite.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So good. We sometimes forget how much it can transcend and go to like places.
No,
like
I actually think compared to other places, London isn't so much in a bubble because of having to have awareness of culture and political conversations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think that reflects in the movies and the music here as well. It doesn't feel so bubbly. I don't know if that makes sense.
As in it's easily accessible.
Yeah, I don't have to explain myself so much to people. But yeah, I don't know a lot of people back home who... I mean, I do know some people, but it's not common for everyone to listen to UK crime. And
your film work, you know, you're obviously really well known for it. You're the daughter of a very, very famous individual, which I don't want to make just that's
my mummy and my daddy.
Your mum and your dad. So your mum done what?
Lots.
Oh, really?
So they both started acting when they were kids. My mum was 5 and my dad was 4.
Okay.
It would have been cute if they met then, but they didn't. But yeah, they've just cinema's like more than bread and butter in our home. It's, you know, it's our always, extended family.
Yeah. I guess if it's always been there, has it been, do you think you would have fallen into it had you not been in that family? Like, do you think you would have naturally gone there if your family maybe weren't that involved in, say, cinema, in jobs?
I don't know. Like, maybe not, honestly, because even starting out, I always wanted to direct and write. Okay. I never really thought about cinema other than that. And then I discovered music really early, and that took over my whole life. And it was about rock and roll and Hindustani Sangeet and doing my riyaz, and that was all it was. So acting happened completely by mistake to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'd always been behind the screen helping my parents, like as a costume assistant.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
anytime they would be on like film set, you would go and just...
Yeah, I did ADR work for all the kids in all of my dad's movies.
For anyone that don't know, that's additional dialogue recording.
Yeah.
You go in after you film the project and you record lines to help assist the end production.
Exactly. And I'm like a sync sniper now because that's what I, you know.
I mean, you done it when you came in here. You started moving camera angles. This should be like this. That should be like that.
No. I'm just bossy boots. But yeah, so I was really lucky and blessed to meet amazing creatives who brought me to the level I'm at today.
That was your first thing, right? Obviously, that doesn't translate now because you're a multi-award-winning actress. I saw a video recently where you put your awards on top of your fridge. And I found it was the weirdest place to put your awards in a house. It's you open the fridge and your awards are up there.
Yeah.
Why are they on the fridge?
Don't you feel like that's a South Asian thing as well?
But yes, it is.
I've got
awards.
Not anything.
Not awards, anything just goes on top.
You know,
but
above the cupboard.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, thank you. So no. It's just that, you know, I've gone into... Okay, so my dad has like... So we have this Indian Filmfare Award.
Yes.
And he has 19 of them.
Oh, wow.
And he has like so many national awards and like... But he also has just like one like corner in the office in which he keeps his stuff where it's not like, look at my awards. They're just like, oh, it's kind of there.
Like hidden away in a corner maybe.
Not even hidden. He's kind of like humble and grateful.
Okay.
But I was just like... I've been to offices and homes where people are like, this is my living room and here's my... You know, and I didn't want to be that person. And I actually lost one of them while moving. And I was like, no, I should keep them where I can see them. Yeah. Like, how did I lose it? Was it stolen? Did I lose it? So then I was just like, I always go into my kitchen. No one ever puts anything on the fridge. I put them there.
Yeah, it's quite a good point, you know, because you're always going to your fridge.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a respectable place.
Yeah.
It's where my food is.
Yeah.
You know?
It's something you need every day.
But it's not like on a shelf.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's interesting because I just never saw it. But if you're telling me it's quite normal.
Yeah, I feel like it's a South Asian
It's a South Asian
I was helping a friend move in recently who's not of South Asian descent recently, and the top of the fridge was naked almost. And I looked at it from far and I just thought that looked so weird. And I just started putting things on top of it.
Any Indian house either has the ceiling above the fridge, the low ceiling, or it has old textbooks and like
random
newspapers
or
absolutely
whatever.
Things,
yeah. Or the kitty litter thing or like anything. But it's never empty.
Random.
Yeah.
Well, you might inspire people to maybe start putting some more stuff on the fridge. So
I don't know if it's like scientifically good for the fridge. I'm just wondering.
I mean,
because my ice maker doesn't work now. Maybe the weight of the awards.
It's because you got so many. So maybe stop being so good at your job so that they don't give you enough
I was
awards.
working with an Indian actor once who told me something and it always stuck with me. And he said, oh, do you think you'll win an award tonight? I was going to an award ceremony. And he said, I don't know, sir, maybe. And he said, always remember it's rewards, not awards.
Oh, that's good.
And I was like, yeah. And he's like, awards are one solid thing, but the rewards will keep changing and they'll keep growing as you're an artist. I'm
gonna every time I leave a conversation, I always remember a line.
Yeah.
I think that one, unless you come up with some more better lines.
No, that's not even mine. So I'm just handing over someone else's.
Whoever came up with that one, that's
Akshay Kumar. Like he was
really?
like, yeah, he was like,
says my friend.
Just so casually.
An actor.
So casually.
Yeah.
Oh, my friend just told me this.
So
and then
casually.
She goes, oh yeah, but it's Akshay Kumar.
Well, he's not a friend. He's my co-star.
Yeah.
Like we're not like mates
actor.
or anything.
Yeah.
You know, like,
She said it like it was a random person. Like we wouldn't know who it was.
Was that in a British accent?
we're not like mates or anything.
Have you done any British roles? Have you played anyone British with like a British accent?
Like what, from like Birmingham? No, like.
Oh, that's not a Birmingham accent.
No, that's not.
But
that was like. I've never been to Birmingham. Actually.
Yeah. No. Go for the first, like a Londoner.
I haven't. No. I mean, the first English film I've just done is kind of like a British Indian accent, but it's more neutral and it's more leaning towards the Indian side because her family would have come in a little. Even the way I'm speaking to you right now is a bit cleaned up and polished.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What would it be like naturally?
Just more casually, like relaxed if I'm speaking at home, and then my South Indian thing comes in a bit, like.
Okay.
So yeah, and then like I even see like actors like say Priyanka Chopra get called out on her accent, and I'm just like, no, wait. First of all, as actors, we do work on diction and accent, and we have things even within Indian movies that we change, but also it's more of a consideration that you should understand me quicker.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're faking it, but like, you know, it's just something that you do as a performer, as you understand.
No, of course, absolutely. I get it, but I find it fascinating because it's like if you play so many roles and you have to read a script in this accent or you have to read a script in that accent, what happens to your natural accent? I
don't even know what my natural accent is.
This is what
that's the truth.
That's what I find fascinating because you're doing so much work to play other characters that when it now comes for you to be you, what happens? Because my accent ends up changing depending whoever I'm speaking
I think my accent is clearest when I'm playing a character because then I commit to a direction and I stay really like in it.
Yeah.
But other than that, like it keeps changing. I grew up like in Chennai, so I have a South Indian accent. Then I also live in Mumbai. Then I work in Telugu, which is a different language completely. But I also studied in America. So when I came back from America, I was like, yeah, my next song is, and you know, so it was just like, so my brain is like khichdi of like accents. Yeah.
No, it's good because it helps you in your career.
Yeah.
Being obviously South Asian, but also being female, and you've climbed like a lot of ranks within, say, the acting world. What would you say have been like your main struggles, if there have been any, from like a female perspective and maybe a South Asian perspective? Do you think it's harder for, say, women who are like you to climb up the world in that career path?
I wouldn't say women like me, but I do think that there is a stereotypical mindset of what the South Asian woman should be. Okay. And I know Pakistani women feel like this, Bangladeshi women feel like this, Indian women feel like this. Maybe because there is, and there may be 50% of it may be part of our cultural beauty and heritage. Yeah. But we're also all a product of globalization. Yes. And you can't remove those influences. I grew up in an English medium school reading English books with Nirvana and Marlon Brando. So there was just no other way I was going to turn out. As well as the way I was raised with really progressive, open-minded parents who were just like, be a good person. And the rules of boy and girl just never applied to us.
So they never imposed any like gender stereotypes, as in you're a girl, ladkiyan aise karte hain cheezein, ladke aise karte hain. They didn't say none of that.
No.
Which
is that because of their open-mindedness? Do you think that would be different
Yeah, it would be different in other homes. Yeah, I mean, I'm in my late 30s and I'm not married and no one's saying to me.
Which
That's
is
straight
brilliant.
Up. Yeah.
Because
that's the first question on everyone's mind.
Yeah, and I get asked it as an actor and I'm like,
just give it a
cool, bye. You know, but like,
there's more to life, like as in that shouldn't be. I think
I have nothing against it.
No, absolutely not. You know what I find fascinating though? Everyone asks, "Oh, when are you getting married?" But nobody asks the question of, "Are you happy in your relationship?"
Never.
Or
because they assume you're miserable in marriage.
Yeah,
I assume.
Are you, yeah, but everyone I speak to who ends up is married just wants to know if anyone else has got married.
And then it's the next question.
And the next question is when are you having kids, which is like the worst question.
Then there's no question after that.
Yeah, because then it's
like... No, then it's just when are you dying?
When are you
Yeah. I did want to learn German and I only learned like few words like das Flughafen. Actually, it made me more aware of things that I'd never thought of before.
You might not have been conscious of it.
Yeah,
okay.
But I understand why it's important in situations. I've had one situation where I wish there was an intimacy coordinator because his man crush is Chaba DJ.
Okay.
He quotes him at inappropriate moments in our relationship. The 3 Gs. So, you know, in parties, when I first walk in, I feel like that teenager who never got asked out on Valentine's Day. Like, it just triggers me, like, really bad. Because
What do you do to overcome that?
But you know what? My rejection started way before. Because coming back to Valentine's Day,
here we go.
Really cute guy was walking up to me. He was actually half, yeah. he was half Indian and half English. So.
Your singing career, have you done like live shows? Or
yeah. In fact, I was doing most of them in London before the pandemic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like what places?
Like the Troubadour, Islington, the Ned.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was starting to really like do sort of like a litmus test for myself to perform to an audience who doesn't know me. Because that's a challenge.
Yeah,
100%. With English music.
Of course.
And see if they will stop eating and listen, you know, first. And that's how I started. But I've been singing since I was 5.
Yeah.
So I did my first playback when I was 5, did my first live show when I was 6.
Okay.
And then continued doing music through my life.
Is it, when you first started, was it like singing in Hindi?
No, English.
It was always English.
Yeah.
From the
very first song I ever wrote.
That's so interesting because people would automatically maybe wrongfully assume that because you are an actress who
I can sing in Hindi, I've sung in almost 7 Indian languages, but I have never been able to write a song in my own Indian languages.
Okay. Wow.
Because they've always been my second and third language. So I can sing in them, I can understand them.
So wait, how many languages do you speak in total?
In school we had first language English, second Hindi, third was Tamil, or second Tamil, third Hindi, you could swap them out. Some weirdos would do French, but like...
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that language, all right?
Yeah, we have that here as well, though.
I'm just
German,
jokes.
Spanish.
Man,
here
I done...
No. I mean, it makes sense here.
No, but even here, like...
Why does it not make sense over there?
I
The world
suppose.
is a big place, you know?
I agree
I
with
done
you.
German.
I did want to learn German and I only learned like few words like das Flughafen.
I can say one sentence in German, which is Ich habe einen Schwester, which means I have a sister and I'm an only child. Like, I don't know why I learned that one sentence.
Okay.
Weird, isn't it?
I get what you mean, though, because even here, like, you got French, Spanish, German, and there'd be like a small popularity that would do French.
The only reason I'm saying why French is because we have so many Indian languages, we've not bothered learning different script as well.
Oh, really?
So we can't read each other's stuff.
Can you give us a sample?
In Malayalam? Or in all?
Whatever one you want.
What do you want me to say, though?
How's your experience been so far on the podcast?
So in Tamil it would be Romba Nalla Irukku, which is I really had a good time in case you were wondering. In Telugu it would be E experience chala bagundi.
Wow,
it's completely different.
Wow. Yeah,
in Malayalam and Kannada I can't even construct that sentence. Honestly. Yeah.
It's like
Channagide in Kannada.
You're so fluent in it naturally.
No. I debuted in Hindi first. Then I did a Telugu film and I didn't know the language at all. So when I first got my dialogues and script and stuff, I needed them to be translated to English.
Oh, really? And then from English?
Yeah, and I'm super dyslexic. So even now nobody should ever see my script paper because I need to do drawings on them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because I'm
like
so
you're image based.
Yeah,
in terms
image
of like
based.
learning.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And
that's
so the
interesting.
image based memory helped me learn a whole new language.
Yeah.
But in a year I learned the language.
Is there anything that you've experienced, right, in cinema or film that you would like to see changed? Like anything that you've experienced? And the reason why I say that is because I'm doing a shoot at the moment, right, and they're introducing intimacy coordinators.
Yeah, I've had that
as a job for someone. And I've done films where that hasn't been,
and it's
awkward and you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Whereas now someone's employed to be an intimacy coordinator who comes in and helps get the scene together, right? Is that something that you'd like to see like more of in cinema, or is that something that you think can be left?
No, I think intimacy coordination is required, but maybe not like, because even in stunt choreography, or we do a lot of dancing. Yeah. You want to have the steps and the choreography, but you want to have spontaneity.
Of course.
So sometimes that gets removed, especially because now you're suddenly aware of body parts, you know, which you didn't think of before. Yeah. And you're like, you know, they had like yoga mat. And I was like, I've never seen a yoga mat cut so small.
They have like,
you know?
They have this like round ball.
Like a kidney thing as well, kidney pillow.
You got to put like here like this, and I'm just like, wow, okay, this is a whole new experience.
Actually, it made me more aware of things that I'd never thought of before.
You might not have been conscious of it.
Yeah, okay. But I understand why it's important in situations. I've had one situation where I wish there was an intimacy coordinator because it was just really uncomfortable and there was no one to guide the situation.
See, now Emma Thompson, for example, who I've done a film with, she spoke about this recently, and she said they are absolutely paramount and they are needed
100%
from a female's perspective.
100%.
Because a female will go on set, the whole crew will be male, and the female sometimes feels like they might not be able to...
I'm not worried about the whole crew being male, because apart from my hairstylist or costume assistant, I've predominantly been on an all-male set. Okay. For most of my movies. Okay. So the gender of who's around doesn't matter to me at all. It's the communication that's required and the understanding of the female perspective that, you know, now I do have directors who, even in dialogue, I'd be like, can we have a discussion about this? Because a woman wouldn't actually say this way. And it's important. And
are these conversations, are the directors, are they receptive to it?
Yes.
Okay.
And my first English film is a female producer, female director, female writer.
Amazing.
Which was like an unbelievable experience for me, because now I didn't have to explain the female gaze. We were moving to the second and the third level and really telling a woman's story.
Amazing.
So that was great. But yes, coming back to what you were saying, intimacy coordination, it's a definite discussion.
Because I feel like it's a new thing, and it's, well, practically new for me, but I feel like it will become the norm. Like,
has to.
Yeah, later down the line, just to make everybody feel comfortable.
I mean, the question is, would you do a somersault without a harness wire and not being trained? Then why would you do a sex scene without an intimacy coordinator?
It's a very solid point. Yeah.
Just simple.
Yeah, and I think females should have more power with that when it comes to these decisions as well, and the fact that they're asking people is great.
Or men, even. We don't know the situation men have been in, because I've also realized men are a little more reticent to talk about their experiences that haven't been great.
Yeah. Why do you think that is? You just think maybe sometimes men don't
the same patriarchy that oppresses women also oppresses men from expressing themselves, because then it says, be a man, take it, and then they don't speak about it. Because don't be a sissy, don't say you were molested, or do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's unhealthy across the board for all genders.
Agreed.
So an intimacy coordinator on set is important for men and women, because we actually don't know all of the men's experiences either.
It's very true.
Do you know what I mean?
If men find it hard to speak about these things, you might not ever know.
Exactly.
Because they might not open up about these experiences. Which is great.
I have male co-actors or friends who are models who've told me things, and I was like, you've never spoken about this? And they're like, no.
Is there anyone that's caught your eye from like a South Asian perspective here or America that you've come across? I know like you touched on musicians. From an actor's or actress's point of view.
I think Riz is amazing.
Yeah.
I loved him in... So I'd seen other stuff, but I really loved him in a movie called Sound of Metal.
Oh, really good.
Yeah. I really loved that. Who else is that? There's tons of people, like...
Asim Chaudhry?
You know what?
Well, he was at the party as well.
One second, I just have to tell everyone what happened. So, I met Asim for the first time I met you.
Oh,
but
was that at the BAFTA thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I only know him as Chaba DJ, right?
That's a lot of people.
Like everyone.
And I was introduced to People Just Do Nothing by Shantanu, my partner who you just met. Because he's like, his man crush is Chaba DJ.
Okay.
He quotes him at inappropriate moments in our relationship. The 3 Gs. So, you know.
All right.
So, when I told him, oh, babe, because there's a time difference between London and India.
Yeah.
And by the time we all got to know each other, it must have been like midnight in London.
It was, yeah.
And then Asim and I bounced off to a place that can't be named.
Yes, you did.
And that was super fun.
Yeah.
And then I told Shantanu the next day, I was like, listen, I've got to tell you something. You need to take a deep breath because you're going to be so upset. And he was like, what? Why? I said, so I met Chabati Ji. We became friends. And then I went to another party with him. And we had a great time. He was practically in tears.
Yeah,
he was like, you've had my dream night. What the hell?
Yeah, he's a great guy, man.
He was amazing.
We're going to get him on the show like soon as well to talk about like...
Just such... Like all of y'all just had amazing energy, you know?
I think, you know what it is? I think we've been working... I'm not going to speak collectively, but for me, I feel like I've been working in the industry here in the UK for such a long time. And you end up building like a little community of people that you just know through working in different spaces. And that night was like the first time where it was celebrated, I felt, for people.
It just as an outsider and being from India, and I don't think we would have met if it wasn't for London, to be completely honest.
Very true, very true.
So I just felt like you guys could have been really cliquey and you weren't.
I don't think we're like I think...
But that says a lot about your journey.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people who feel left out or on the fringes of things like the entertainment industry or like are trying to break in, when they do, they get cliquey and then they're like, we've got to stick together.
Yes.
And then they forget that someone
there's
at
other
home.
people
Yeah.
And I never tried to forget that because I know
and I could see that energy and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, because that was like, I think London gets a lot of stick for being cliquey.
I think everyone was once that person and they forget that.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You were once that person walking through that door.
Yeah.
And you're overwhelmed by what's in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially for me, because it doesn't matter how much, like I've been acting for 15 years now, but I'm like so socially awkward and...
No, you're not.
In parties. When I first walk in, I feel like that teenager who never got asked out on Valentine's Day. Like it just triggers me like really bad. Because
What do you do to overcome that?
Nothing, because I don't even drink. So I'm just sober and my anxiety. You know?
Yeah, but I never see... That's interesting because I would have never have perceived it like that.
Person.
I would have been like, this person is so extroverted and she's so like live for the party. She's talking...
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you.
But this is why I think perception is very interesting because we can sometimes think that we are like this.
Yeah.
But then, well, how someone else sees you is different to how...
I love connecting with people, but I'm also like so sensitive to energy. So when I don't feel it's right, I'm like, oh, you know?
Yeah.
It's really bad. And I think it's me.
Yeah.
Because I think it's just a teenage thing.
Yeah, but I think it's also because you're creative and you work in an industry that requires your emotions to be used.
And we're rejected so much.
And I get that because you it's a lot of in the mind.
But you know what? My rejection started way before, because coming back to Valentine's Day,
here we go.
Really cute guy was walking up to me. He was actually half, he was half Indian and half English. So all the girls liked only this one boy. Okay. And I was like, hell yeah, he's walking up to me and he's like, are you coming to play cricket or what? And I was like, damn it. And I was like, it's fine, I'll field also, no problem. Because I was
became a fielder
on Valentine's Day, the only girl playing cricket. So I think it's really like every new party feels like I'm the fielder on that day and Valentine's.
Has that become your name now?
What, fielder?
Fielder. Because next time I see you, I'm going to be like, yo, fielder.
It's a good nickname.
What's happening? It is actually, it's got a little ring to it.
You never know when I'll save the game.
Yeah. There you go. Well said. I can't let you leave here without trying to hear some of your singing.
Oh, man.
if you don't want to, you don't have to. But I just feel like,
you know, they never ask actors, like they never treat them like a human jukebox. Like, ma'am, come on, give us one of your dialogues before you leave.
And I hate this.
Do you know what I mean?
I hate this.
You get me? Like, nobody.
Look, I hate this. So that's why I'm saying.
It's fine. It's fine.
Like, press the button, turn around.
Yeah, I don't want it to be like that.
No.
If you feel comfortable.
Sure thing. But what do you want to listen to?
That's your first song that you ever did.
But that's in Tamil.
That's fine.
I was 5.
No, we need a Hindi song.
Okay, wait, we'll do a Hindi song.
We need a Hindi
song. So I'll do my first ever Hindi film song.
This song that you're going to perform, first ever
Hindi film song.
That you sang in
that
the film?
I sang and was in the movie. Luck. My first Hindi film.
The film was called Luck.
Yeah, I was not so lucky for me. But the song was.
But the song's called what?
Azma Luck.
Azma Luck.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So
yeah.
Hindi audiences may know it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Azma Luck, Azma, Azma, वक्त आजमा, अपनी किस्मत की बाजी आजमा.
Wow, yo, that was just like, you don't have to give it any longer.
I was like moving away because I'm a loud voice.
No, but that is, I think the high street heard that. Like, the car alarm's going off. Can you hear that? That was amazing.
Thank you.
You've been tuned in to Aik Cup Chai, presented to you by the Independent Urdu. Remember to subscribe to the Independent Urdu YouTube channel. Watch stories about British Pakistanis. And this has been Aik Cup Chai, where we speak to amazing individuals who have a special talent and learn more about the South Asian diaspora. Until next week, peace.
Cool. Was that okay?
That was amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. You're incredible.
I just blabber and then sometimes I'm like,
Nah, you're good.
Natural.
So much about you. It was amazing.
What did you? Chai.